Hello and welcome back, folks. Heir of Kislev here, and yes, the Ice Court welcomes you back to the Motherland, where we're going to continue to push for the souls and save our god-bear Urson from the clutches of the demon Be'lakor. Should be a lot of fun. Appreciate y'all joining me today. We've got a lot to do. We are making good money now. That's pretty great news. We're winning the race for supporters quite handily at the moment, so also excellent news. I'm not going to use any of our invocations right now, because I'm going to, well, I don't know, this one for growth could be good. 20 extra growth. I don't have a lot of devotion, though, so let's hold off. Let's check our daemons. People were saying it looks like you have an empty slot. We do. So we can put an daemon in somewhere. I'm going to do it right here where we took this settlement from the Skaven. And it's because it's going to be difficult to try and put public control here. Actually, this guy looks good. He's a mixture of anti-corruption and and higher control. So let's put Nikolai in here. All right, so Nikolai is in. We're not able to do any other daemons at the time, so thank you all for the comments and reminding me about that. I'll be checking on other comments that you all made from the last episode as best I can, and we'll just kind of continue our way along here. I was just getting that pulled up in front of me here too. Speaking of comments, let's get to Killscribe. Killscribe has been tracking how many ice sculptures we've made, or in other words, kills, and right now Khorne is leading the way. We've killed 4,632 Khornate troops, which is awesome. And following that, it's going to be the Ropsman clan, which is the one that we killed in Prague. They are now destroyed at 3609, but Clan Mulder made an enormous contribution at 2,675 losses as well. So appreciate those other factions pitching in, and I appreciate the Killscribe being absolutely awesome. Let's go ahead and end our turn. Pyrrhic Stratigo says, "Hey, Heir, loving your Kislev campaign. You finally get around to recruiting a war sled, and you name it Boris and Natasha. A name for each bear in the unit. Thanks." Yep, we sure can. So let's see here. Join the war against Skaven. No thanks. I'm not going to be joining any of those wars. And let's see. That is looking good. So we discovered an ambusher. I don't see that ambusher in my lands anywhere. The Sornlings are coming in, looking like they may want to do some raiding. We've almost got enough money to have two armies, or we do have enough money to have two armies. Just one of the armies will kind of need to be a little bit crappy, but that's no big deal. We just want Tsarina Katarin's army to be really good, and it is very nearly a doom stack. You all will see why I'm saying that soon.
Defy chaos.
Gonna cost me more and take longer to recruit from over here.
No complaint.
But if I walk back home to recruit these, it's gonna take a couple of turns at least. I'm gonna need to save money for another turn though, because I'm gonna need almost, it's gonna be just shy of 6,000. Do I got it? Yeah, we got it actually. I'm gonna go ahead and get 3 Ice Guard with glaives. That way I've got a couple that can help in a melee, and I've got others that can help against large. Actually, let's do
you and
one more with swords, 2 with glaives. The swords will go in the middle, the glaives will go on the flanks, so they can hold stuff off, and then the 3 swords can help in a melee if needed. So that ought to balance it out pretty nicely. Gonna increase the upkeep cost of my army, certainly, but will be worth it. Now, we've got some research we can do here. We improved our Ice Guard ammunition a while back, which is great. -2 corruption in all provinces would certainly be handy. Upkeep for elemental bears. It's battle chance. I'm just kind of looking for some different buffs here. What's really good? Ammunition for war sleds. Flaming attacks for Grom. That could be fun, but we don't have the right building for it. So that won't make a whole lot of difference at the moment. Income from trade good producing buildings. Melee attack, bear baiting. I love that there's a thing named bear baiting here that, let's see, Missile resistance for Kassar, Streltsy, Ice Guard. Now that could be good. Take me 30 turns to get there. Wow. A lot of time to invest. Armor for winged lancers, not really caring. Ammunition and reload reduction time for Kassars could be good. And chance of spreading a plague and devotion gain when fighting chaos could also be good. Let's work on that.
With this,
Breach loaders.
we stand against chaos.
Okay. Go ahead and end our turn. We've got Tsarina Katarin's Ice Guard well on the way. I've asked my allies to help out against Besornling. We'll see whether they do. Got a target on their army, which is moving into our lands. All right, soon we're gonna get a roar, so that's good that we're completing Tsarina Katarin's army. We'll make a second army while she's gone. It'll probably be just like a trash load of archers because they'll be cheap. That's just gonna be the best way to go. Go through a couple turns. We're gonna get a couple more of your questions here.
Like the motherland, our friendship endures.
This was a comment from Corvus, who says, something that works well for me, as Kislev at least, defensive alliance with fellow Kislevite, yes. He says, something that works well for me is, at least not when playing as Boris or Kostatin, is to rush Prague early while its garrison is weak and start building a half stack, take all the Eastern Oblast, and then rush north and get the Bear Cult. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. So he's like basically saying, just go, like, with Tsarina Katarin, go for Prague early, get a half stack of trash troops just to come through and clean out this, and then you're able to get ready. So that is an interesting start. Could certainly work well.
One land.
Appreciate you sharing that. And produce more trade goods. I think we should. Got marble over here as well. Go ahead and produce more marble. All right. So good upgrades. We had a thing for Ottoman that we could have looked at there. I forgot to. Anyway, yeah. What are you all thinking of the Kislev campaign so far? I've heard mixed. Like, some people are saying theirs is really hard, which is what mine had been. Some people are saying theirs are super easy, which I think is what we're seeing this time. So, oh, speaking of TCDEG, T-Steg? Yeah, I don't know how to say. Anyway, he suggested that I name a General Hannibal Berkus and crossing into the Chaos Weight. I like it. I think we'll get a Patriarch and we'll name him Hannibal Berkus. That was a great suggestion, by the way, so thank you. Military access. I think that would be good. Give them military access, because if they're going to come up here and start fighting against demons, that should just make us stronger and better defended. Yet there's more Besornlings coming in. Our settlement does not have its highest tier of defense yet, unfortunately. We do have allies nearby. Elpit is in pretty good shape. Skaven Corruption is on the way down. We no longer need the Bear Sled recruitment here, so let's tear that down. And I also no longer need the Streltsy recruitment here, so let's tear that down. And we will build defenses and some happiness or anti-corruption or something there to kind of help hold that settlement. Which ultimately I think will be the best deal. Let's go ahead and build that. And Igorov, get more logs to trade. A little bit more income. We are really trying to push our income as hard as we can. We want all the trade goods. Anywhere where I can build income, I want income. Yep, see, here's another defensive alliance with another Kislevite faction. That's great. Just all get together. Unite the motherland here and fight against the never-ending tide of chaos. All right, Tsarina Katarin is sitting right next to a portal. I'm gonna see if y'all gave me any feedback on which one or which land you want me to go to next. Okay.
We are one people.
I was looking at the suggestions, and there was kind of a mixture of stuff from folks, so I'm thinking about just getting over with the ones that I don't like. So I think I'm gonna go to the land of the Plague Lord. The Sorcerer one is annoying and takes a long time. Nurgle's isn't too bad. You do take a lot of attrition, but it's doable. So let's head to the land of the Plague Lord.
The land of the Plague Lord. Be cautious where you step in this putrid domain. Nurgle's realm is a garden of bloated flora and fauna, desperate to spread their infected spores. And at its center lies the mansion of the Plague Lord, the great sagging edifice where Nurgle himself works to concoct his greatest poxes. Guarding the mansion's gates is the Gardener, the favored demon prince of Nurgle. Destroy him to claim his soul.
I spy the mansion in the woodman.
Alright, we gotta make our way to the mansion of the Plague Lord. And our first mission while here is gonna be to make it over here and get a cure to the plague that we are going to be experiencing, which, you know, gotta love that. Gotta love Nurgle Plague. It's really quite great. By great, I mean terrible. Absolutely terrible. Our allies are here. I don't know if they're gonna help me push that back. We're gonna need some agents. So I should have already gone to the Ice Court. I'm gonna get a Frost Maiden. We're gonna have her help us close the portals. I should have already had her ready for this. So we're gonna get that Frost Maiden started. Got something going on with the Adamans here. Get Observant, which makes cheaper construction, or Foe Seeker ability. I guess Foe Seeker, in case we ever take him to battle, I don't know. Either one of those is a great option, to be honest. Let's take a look at some of our other options. We've got good money coming in for the moment. Glad to see it. Get these buildings ratcheted up. It's gonna cost me some devotion, but should be worth it in the end. Oh, actually, I may need to bring that money back and spend it here. Yeah, I do. Let's cancel this one. That one. Bring the money back and spend it at Hell Pit. And growth. So that's our extra growth. Growth would be nice. We have to go with growth first, and then we'll try and get some stuff for some income and corruption reduction. Hell Pit's not going to be a fantastic settlement. Really, the big cities there, Prague, Kislev, and the others, those are going to be our big earners and most important settlements.
Our common cause shall benefit.
All right, so Ungrim wants military access. Let's give it to him because he might be trying to take on some of the factions that would attack us. I feel like that would be the smart thing to do. Poxmakers of Nurgle also entered the realm of the Plague Lord. So give us a chance to destroy Kugath while we're there. Certainly have the means to do it now that we have all these awesome... what do you call it? Missiles. We got a lot of awesome missile units. We're gonna need to get some agents recruited. So we're gonna have to pay a lot of upkeep here, but let's go ahead and grab one at Kislev. I believe we can recruit hero here, yep. Good master. Let's go with Igor here. We're gonna use him to close that portal. It's gonna cost us money, but we need these portals closed. My ally appears to have abandoned me here, which is great. Really appreciate that. Zargard is some tough infantry, and that's a lot of archers. They've got a lot of Marauder champions. There's 6 Marauder champions in total. 3 So 4 single entities that we'd have to kill. They'd have me heavily outmatched on infantry. If we fight them in the settlement, we could probably take them.
Another time.
That's annoying. That is definitely annoying.
Patriarch of Kislev, I must repent.
What we could do, let's go ahead and recruit Hannibal Berkus here. Get a boyar. Let's see, student of Miska, so he gets extra magic reserve. Chance of dropping stuff here, so let's recruit this guy.
Boyar.
This is gonna be Hannibal Berkus. And Hannibal Berkus of Carthage. All right, here we go. So that's gonna cost us some extra upkeep, but it is what it is. We really need these Hussars with spears.
Only the most skilled may serve.
So I'm gonna do this. I'll just grab some Hussars of spears and Hussars. We're just gonna load up on a lot of Hussars, and we'll throw him around to help our different garrisons, and it'll be minimal upkeep as a result. Okay. Our Frost Maiden, we gotta pick Ice or Tempest. Since this is gonna go in Patchy's army, or sorry, Hannibal Berkus's army, we're gonna go with, and Frost Maiden is pretty good because she can buff this stuff. I'm gonna go with Ice. Ultimately, they're both pretty decent. They both have advantages and disadvantages. We need to kill off this Nurgle army here. That one's a further move. Let's kill off this one and start making our moves. Where'd the Poxmakers come in? We'll have to catch where they came in. But anyway, we're gonna want to fight this because auto-resolving is gonna cost us a lot of casualties that we don't want. So I'll see you all on the battlefield. All right, folks. The age of the demon is over. The age of bear baiting is here. Hope you all are ready for it. So the demons are now going to be in huge trouble. I can use my sleds. I've got these sweet new shiny bear sleds here, though of course the way the stupid attrition works, it kills off a whole model after just one turn of attrition. Just absolutely ignorant. CA needs to revisit that when it comes to these low entity count things. They're not accounted for very well in the auto-resolve, and they're not accounted for very well in terms of attrition, so CA's got some work to do there. It seems fine with like single entities and multiple entities, but with the low entity, it's bad. So here we go, our first bear baiting. The sleds and Katarin and her heroes are luring back the enemies piecemeal and leaving them to be shot to death by our line of Streltsy and Hussars. So let the smell of gunpowder fill your nostrils as we watch demons fall from the sky and litter the ground. Very ugly ground anyway, here in the realm of Nurgle, so it will be quite good to see this ground being covered with all the disgusting, filthy, nasty things that Nurgle has been throwing at us. I'm gonna retreat back behind my own men when necessary. There's a great unclean one on the way. This is gonna be a very powerful melee unit, so he's about to get a little icy reception here. So he's going to start taking the wrath of multiple Ice Guard units. And speaking of Ice Guard, where my Streltsy get attacked, and they're not ideal fighting these toads, that's where I'll take my Ice Guard that are with glaives, and we'll get in there and fight them off. So you can see that's why I kind of keep different Ice Guards on hand. If you need to go in melee against infantry, use the swords. If you need to get into melee with the glaives, then you do it. And when they don't get charged, they get in and they're very effective in melee. Look how well they are cutting up those toads and taking hardly any damage in return. You can see my other units, the Ice Guard, are just very powerful. Nurgle doesn't have any armor either, so my Ice Guard are just ripping through him, and he's already slow and gets hit with Frostbite. So the Great Unclean One is going to get absolutely savaged here, and it's going to go down in a hail of arrows and bullets, flapping its giant, disgusting belly tongue. Over here, I'm going to use Gehenna's Golden Globe. This was the metal Cataclysm spell. It was pretty powerful there. It took a good chunk out of these units. So I've created a blob with Tsarina Katarin, and again, left it out here, ideally to be shot, but at the moment, some other Nurgle troops have gotten into my melee line and prevented them from shooting. But again, where I have the glaives here, these rot flies, which otherwise would be a bit of a problem for my infantry, the glaives will easily take care of them. You can see Tsarina Katarin here just kind of hacking her way through this blob, along with her Frost Maiden and her Patriarch. But those blobs keep those units out of my shooters and just makes these armies much more effective. See the toads here going down, and at this point I'm going to summon in a cat, and we've also got the Tormentor sword going on. So it's over. There's the Hawks of Miska just to finish them off. See these icy hawks flow through here and rid us of the rest of this Nurgle scum. That is going to be it for the first Nurgle army that we faced in his realm. All right, that wasn't ideal for us to have to deal with because of the terrain, but we still did well. We picked up a bunch of treasury. We got some devotion out of it, decent bit of devotion and experience. We can take the unit replenishment, which isn't much, but we'll take it because we're gonna kind of constantly be behind the replenishment gun in the realm of Nurgle. See, the Kugath spawned in opposite of us, and we'll probably have to make his way over this direction, so we'll kill him on the way as we cross. Got some good healing going on. I'm gonna take that healing, go ahead and start moving this way towards our next objective. It's possible that this army will strike out and attack us too. We should be all right. Should be able to hold it back without too much issue. All right, let's get back down to the land of Kislev. And whoops, a little bit out of my way. Got a recruiting going on, and then we'll try and go free up Nafchozi from its siege. And on the next turn, we can start closing rifts. Tsarina Katarin has picked up some skill points here. We've got Renowned in Fear. Logistician would be quite good, but there's some other stuff we probably want to take advantage of here. Oh, I need Heart of Winter. I'm gonna upgrade it as well, so it'll cost me less Winds of Magic. Heart of Winter is just really good at blob busting. Really good at it, so I want to have it. Handmaiden of the Ice Queen. Cooldown to spells. She gets extra attack and weapon strength. Scholar helps if there's research. Magistrate's not really that good. And then Eagle Eye. It's gonna go Champion as well. All right. And our Patriarch levels up as well. We can make him immortal now. And let's see here. Kislev, we can build up its defense and put in a little bit of income here. All right, we're gonna need all the income we can get to offset some of the extra cost we're gonna have for having Hannibal Barcus's army. Yeah, we did get attacked here. Thinking about whether I should auto-resolve this or fight this. I'm gonna go ahead and fight it, just so we have some good footage of killing Nurgle while we're there in the realm. All right, these maps are not particularly flat, which isn't ideal for bear baiting, but here we go. It's bear baiting time again. So the Nurgle armies are here. Again, they've got a great unclean one. This time they also have a Beast of Nurgle. They've got a bunch of Pox Riders here on their toads, and the Chaos Furies of Nurgle. Lots of Nurglings, Plague Bearers, all the kind of stuff that we would expect from a Nurgle army. They even have some Forsaken of Nurgle here, which is some pretty decent infantry on their behalf. So I rolled forward. We got Jabba the Hutt pushing here. And a much fatter loincloth-clad cousin. I threw a spell in here to slow down the advance of the enemy so that I could continue the baiting. I've got my army way back up on this hill. And this time I have a little more distance between myself and our Nurgle enemy so that I can increase the amount of damage that we'll do while I am baiting them back to my missile line. And also, ideally, when you do this, the enemy will have units of varying speeds, but they will all be chasing you in anger. And so the faster units will arrive first. They will get slaughtered piecemeal, and then let the next units arrive, and then they get slaughtered piecemeal. So that is ideally what you want to be accomplishing with the bear baiting strategy. The Furies are particularly prone to this because they have really no armor or hit points, so they're going to get absolutely savaged here between the guns and the bows, and so they crumble away near immediately, and I'm going looking for more victims here, and the Pox Riders are happily bringing them to me. So I got the Pox Riders coming in. This is one of the faster units for Nurgle, honestly. You can see there the opening volley is just savage. How much damage gets done. There's more Furies, and here comes the Rot Flies. So Nurgle's bringing their full force of anything they have that moves faster than a large loincloth-clad, disgusting, like, disease ogre, whatever you want to use to describe the Great Unclean One. Once again, I'll probably bring some of my glaives into melee to help fight back the Rot Flies. There they come, and the Pox Riders. And then the rest of my missile units, though, will go ahead and pick a target. The Great Unclean One is going to become their target because he's very valuable. Actually, it looks like they hit the Beast of Nurgle instead, yeah. So the Beast of Nurgle and then the Great Unclean One. Probably should have targeted the Great Unclean One first. I'm going to be folding this flank in here in a moment so that these Zargard can get slightly better shots with their pistols, but you can see the infantry for Nurgle is lagging far behind, and this is good. This is what we want. That Great Unclean One here. Now this is a tough unit in melee. It's not a unit I really want to sit around for a long time, so I am going to start targeting it with my Ice Guard and take it out, because again, it's low armor and should leave it pretty vulnerable. Get this poison going on here and miasma of pestilence. Nurgle can really debuff you. That's what he's attempting to do here. But I got a spell here that is the cataclysmic spell from Lore of Shadows, which is going to really hurt leadership and defense for all the Nurgle units. And you can see there the Great Unclean One, after taking some volleys from my Ice Guard, is going to drop and die. And the rest of these units are now going to be held out. And my Missile Storm is about to go in earnest. Plus, I believe that is a Heart of Winter going down here as well from Tsarina Katarin, and that is going to absolutely shred what's left of Nurgle. So again, there you go. Piecemeal, we lure the enemy forward, do our damage, and then we finish off the slower infantry as it arrives. So bear baiting absolutely works, folks. You're going to see it work over and over and over again in this campaign. It's just the most effective way to kill demons of chaos. Get out of here, you filthy herald. Got the triple bear treatment there. All right, another excellent result for us there. Devotion game, we should get supporters. We're having beat down chaos as well. We got a ton of loot. We could take the replenishment from killing these guys. I mean, we could take the extra cash here too. That's gonna slow our replenishment, so I'm not really down with that at the moment. Happy to have that.
What news do you bring to the Ice Throne, friend?
So let's see. Restilton here wants us to join a war with him. The answer is no, because you couldn't even help me solve the war that I had there. Ah, look, he came and helped. It says we're gonna lose? Why are we gonna lose? I don't understand. All right, it says we're gonna lose. I disagree wholeheartedly. So let's find out.
The orthodoxy decrees! Serve without question! Sons of Kislev! Spearmen! Hussars! On the march! For the orthodoxy! Take position! Kislev sends us forth! Taking position! Kislev's vengeance! Moving! For the motherland! Taking point! Follow the bear!
Making it so.
Wolfdog Kislevites! Very well. Anything for Kislev! Defenders of Kislev! For Kislev!
Yes!
For the throne!
Wah!
For Kislev's honor!
Hussars!
Armored Cossars!
Ursun command!
Kislev endures!
We fight for Ursun! By Galmaraz! Patriarch! Repositioning! Show us the foe! Comrades of the bear! Charge! Land is power! We are Sigmar's heirs! Formation march! Take position!
March with pride!
Prepare for combat! Sons of Kislev! Defenders of Kislev! Hussars! Taking position! Spearmen! Fight them! Hussars! Moving! On the march! Moving! Orson! Tor! Taj! Salyak! Armored Cossars! Moving! Cossars!
This was not meant to be! May the Orthodoxy!
Land is power! For Kislev! We'll be back! Comrades of the bear! Kislev's vengeance!
Defenders of Kislev! They die!
Sons of Kislev!
Kislev endures! Make war!
Indeed! Cossars! Whatever Ursun asks! Taking points! Bring them down! In Kislev's name!
Well, I liked it. I was sitting there trashing them, and then they actually showed up and helped. I could use more of that. Yes, please. Let's see. It's not a lot of treasury. Let's just go ahead and take the replenishment in case there's more enemies that show up soon. We'll be ready to fight them. Actually, appreciate my allies being on point for once. I don't want to join your wars right now, especially against other Empire factions. Make a real war, and I'll consider it. All right. So they mobilized against their target and succeeded. Now we really don't need them to mobilize against anything else in the vicinity. We need to just get our agent busy closing down these rifts that have appeared in our lands, because they're going to be spreading chaos corruption at an alarming rate.
Live and die for
I'm gonna
Kislev!
move up here to the north and get both of those. Let's see, growth in the local province or an economist. Let's go with growth. I don't really love that as a feature on that particular character, but I'm not really sure we're getting a choice, and we're just gonna have to deal with it. Okay, so go back to Tsarina Katarin, who is off in the realm of the Plague Lord. And she is pretty well healed at this turn, so I'm going to push forward farther in this turn end, and we'll go back into an encamped stance on the next turn. So I kind of like to alternate between stances. Looks like Kugath is fighting his way. Get across here, we'll kill him as he comes across to ensure that he can't possibly beat us here. We've got Heart of Winter. I think I'm just going to go with Guardian Call now, and then Magic Reserves. So that'll give me a Snow Leopard summon. We'll have double Snow Leopard summon, extra Magic Reserves. So, I mean, that's definitely going good. Let's go with Blizzard, that upgrade. The Patriarch, he's now immortal, so we can focus elsewhere. We got Harsh Survivor, Bearkin, Healer. Increases, let's see, replenish, unlocking the skill. So it takes away cooldown to Salak's Lullaby, adds hit points on him, and increases the replenishment rate that he gives the troops. That's a good one. Let's go with that. All right. Got some cash on hand, and we probably ought to spend it. Nothing to build in Kislev, Prague, or Hell Pit at the moment. So let's take a look here. Let's go with trade goods, income. We'll build up the devotion buildings here. Well, you know, we can go ahead and do one, so let's go ahead and do it. Got a thing here with our Ottoman. Frost Maiden ally. Hero recruit rank for Frost Maidens. That could be good, but I don't know if it applies to the one that we already put underway, so probably not. But we'll probably be recruiting more Frost Maidens. Boy, look at that. The Legion of Chaos there from the Demon Prince is really pushing hard towards us, so we'll have to keep an eye on them. If you want a military alliance, I will join that. We will fight with our fellow Kislevites. We got some good unit names, by the way, that I need to go ahead and put on my units. I'll do that when we get back to this one. Our Prince's Realm. Okay. Let's get up here to Tsarina Katarin. And I'm going to enter in a camp stance. I'm going to kind of get right in Kugath's way.
I said march!
And kind of block him off. And I want to get my, look at this. I've got almost all my hit points back, but I still only have 2 sleds in each unit. It's so stupid the way the attrition works with sleds. Needs to be fixed. Battler, let's get Battler because we're going to use her in battle more. Okay, there were some units that people wanted here. We wanted this one to be Boris and Natasha. That was a request. Okay, and then we had, I don't know if all this is gonna fit. Yep, it will. So Teddy's Rough Riders, so Theodore Roosevelt. Throw there to the bear, so some good names. Thank you all for suggesting them. We do still have enemies around, so I'm glad I took the replenishment at Novchosi, because we're likely to be facing more problems there. I'm gonna spam out just some more cheap units in this army. That's all we're gonna do is just spam out a bunch of cheap archers and do our best to keep our enemies at bay. Go up here and close this rift, and then we'll follow up with that one. This is gonna eat up a lot of our money right now too. Alright, once we close those, we've got one over here. So only a couple more rifts after that, and our Frost Maiden will be out soon. She can help to close some of these rifts as well. Would have been better to have her ready prior to this, but we're gonna do all right. And the Realm of the Plague Lord shouldn't take like a ton longer, so we should be back in case we end up needing to fight off some more stuff with Katarin's army, which is obviously considerably stronger. I'd like to go take on the Demon Prince with her army. Oh, I probably should have taken that. I wasn't paying attention. Whoops. So, yeah, definitely watch that. All right, come on, Kugath, where are you at? Settlement is besieged. That's Chosi again. Saying that we don't have a good chance of winning. Their reinforcements would take a couple of minutes to even arrive. It is berserkers. Pretty decent reinforcements. Let's go ahead and just decline that attack, and let's see if we can maybe once again get my allies to mobilize on this. Let's select a target here. Not Patchy's army should be able to start moving that direction after another turn, and we'll be able to hurt these guys pretty bad with that many archers. It's a good way to just have a cheap army. It's not going to be a really great army. He went around me. What a coward. Well, I've got all my sleds ready for him now, so I'm going to give him some ultimate bear baiting. You ready for it, Plague Daddy? Let's go. All right, so Daddy Kugath himself shows up in the realm of Nurgle. I'm sure he loves it here. It's just being back home for him. But he is way off from the battle, and a bunch of his troops were isolated over here. I'm going to take advantage of that. There's this huge, disgusting cesspit right in the middle of the map, which is going to cause him a lot of slow movement. And that's great. The slower that someone gets repositioned, the more time that my bear baiting has to work in earnest. You can see the Nurglings right now are the target of some affection from my light war sleds. The Rough Riders and Natasha and Boris, no doubt, enjoying seeing these little Nurglings fly around every time they fire shots and being entertained by it. So I'm going to sit here and start picking away at the forces of Nurgle and try and lure them into an engagement that they are not going to be happy with, and it shouldn't be too hard to cause. In fact, part of me was tempted to just charge in with Zarina, Katarin, and others now and get into this blob and then just hit it with the Heart of Winter, but I was a little worried, you know, we're kind of far away. I deployed my my gun line a little further back, so decided to go ahead and just wait patiently. Plus, if Kugath arrives, we can shoot him up with our bear sleds as well. But enough of their forces arrived at this point that they're going to put on the pointless chase they just haven't seemed to learn their lesson with, where they think they can catch my forces, but they can't catch my forces. Let's see, Kugath here is going to start throwing Nurglings at me, exploding Nurglings, might add. Here is the bear bait, folks. My gosh, these Realms of Chaos look so good. So I used my Tempest Maiden to buff the range of my Streltsy and Ice Guard. So they're going to be able to open up from extended range. The Ice Guard at about 200 meters. And the Streltsy, I think, are at about 150-ish, 160 maybe even. So we're getting huge range right now from a couple of our units. It is brutally effective. You can see we've got the Rot Flies lured in. And the fire here is absolutely withering. I think we need to get some close-ups of the Streltsy. This is a unit that I enjoy a lot. They are not as good in melee as I'd hoped they would be, even once you get them all the way buffed from your lord, but they are still very excellent from range, and a few of them in your army can do some serious damage whenever they're shooting right up the middle. And that's exactly what these guys will be doing. See, this Streltsy unit here has got great line of sight on those toads. Now we've got this one opening fire as well. You can see my sleds continuing to lure units, and the Ice Guard just fire away from behind the lines. And again, these are your secondary melee capabilities, so not to be underestimated. They're actually very, very good in a melee. I believe that's another Heart of Winter, yep. We've got another Heart of Winter going down on this Nurgle blob. So that's going to do a ton of damage to them, and it's holding them right in the line of fire. Pretty soon we'll get Crystal Sanctuary as well, where I can do the huge damage resistance to my units while firing into this big blob. It makes it even better. So Zarina Katarin's magic gets pretty insane late into the game like this, and her capabilities get really good. So that is the main part of the Nurgle army all mowed down there, and I was trying to light a thunderstorm up on Kugath, but it misclicked, unfortunately. I thought it was clicking on him, and then it just clicked behind him. So, way to go, Air. Anyway, we got our sleds here. They have found yet another Jabba the Hutt of Plague to start shooting at here. Beast of Nurgle. And it is a rather large and easy target to hit. So, most of my guys in the bear sleds are no doubt just eating their lunch, kind of on break, but still able to land a bunch of shots. And I'm going to use this ice magic to slow these units down even more. Yeah, it gets the speed all the way down to 30, and really makes these units crawl, which they already do. We're just making them crawl even slower. I'm hesitant to approach Kugath with my missile units because he actually can cause a lot of damage against kind of tightly packed formations. So I'm a little hesitant to approach him. We got rid of the Beast of Nurgle. This is going to cause their pox riders, or sorry, the plague toads to charge here. I'm going to go ahead and take that engagement with Tsarina Katarin and her Ice Witch, or sorry, Frost Maiden and Patriarch here. And then the others, I'm just going to start luring back into the loving range of our support infantry. So not going to be any problem up here. Got a Heart of Winter going. We're just going to clear out all these toads. I think these ones are the Pox Riders because they have the Nurgling, or the Exalted Plague Bearers, whatever the heck they are at the back of them there. And there comes Gehenna's Golden Globe again, which is the Cataclysmic spell for metal. So doing some extra damage to help me out along with that Heart of Winter. And at this point, Kugath is the last one. He's back here shooting at me. So I'm going to go ahead and move up my bear sleds and let them empty all the remaining ammunition into, once again, a very easy target. They always talk about hitting the broadside of a barn, except in this case, the broadside of the barn would be a slightly more difficult target to hit than Kugath. He is much larger than that. So our bears are going to take out the Pox Riders. It's not going to be too much issue. They took massive damage from all the magic, not to mention the melee. And here comes my sleds, trying to keep the attention of Kugath. I was hoping that if he does start throwing Nurglings, he'll just keep throwing them at my sleds. Because now I am going to go ahead and move up some infantry. I got some Streltsy and Ice Guard moving up. Let's see what Kugath does. Put a Magma Storm on him, by the way, too, because then it went to Lore Fire. So we're now burning Kugath, but he is throwing Nurglings at us, which is going to be a bit of a risk, because I want you all to see what happens when he chucks his little stinking Nurglings at a tight formation. It causes a ton of damage. Look at that. I think that was one hit. Yeah, it's like one hit took almost half our health, maybe 2 hits tops he threw in there. So it is brutal, like his ranged attack is. So you definitely don't want to let any tight formations get in range of his Nurgling tossing, because he just keeps reaching in there, throwing more of those disgusting pus-filled Nurglings. I've got some Streltsy in range, my bear sleds are in range, and then my bear heroes have arrived. And even when he's crumbling, boy, it takes a long time to get rid of this gigantic can of filth here. Wow, he's gross, and I love it when he dies. All right, the bear baiting is becoming very successful, and I am here for it. Absolutely love it. We can take the extra replenishment, I think. Or sorry, the extra cash. Let's go ahead and take the extra cash, because I'm going to be able to get into encamp stance and quickly replenish, even with the debuff, and we're going to start heading towards the cure. So that's going to keep Plague Papa from getting any souls on this turn, so that is going to work out very nice for us. Crystal Sanctuary is actually really good. Well, so I'm going to unlock that. It's a huge damage resistance at the cost of not being able to move, but it's an excellent tool in your toolbox of bear baiting. So when you have that there, it allows you to keep your units quite safe while you really badly shoot up an enemy, and you have a lot of damage resistance, so they're really not accomplishing much by attacking you. All right, things are looking quite good here. Like I said, we're almost done with Hannibal Baracus, doing some recruiting. We've got our agent closing down these different rifts, and we're only a couple of turns from getting our Frost Maiden here. I'm gonna give her Perfect Vigor. That's actually a really nice trait to have. So she is almost here, and we'll be able to keep closing rifts, and we'll finish our mission in the Realm of the Plague Lord probably next time, and be able to hopefully claim that second soul. In terms of what's going on, I think what we'll do is go ahead and invoke the Urson here, because this is going to cause attrition to any enemy armies in our territory. We've got enough devotion to invoke it. We're still way ahead in the supporter race. We should stay that way because of all this fighting chaos. I'm pretty sure we pick up supporters. Yeah.
Never fails.
Well, no, right now we're just picking them up from buildings and stuff, but that's fine. We're picking up plenty of supporters. We're staying ahead. There's no reason to even worry about having to spend money there at the moment. So hope you all enjoyed it. Heir of Kislev signing out for now. I will see you all next time in the Motherland.